Yo, what's up? What's up? It's Coach Nick with my lovely co-host, Deborah Face, your face for real estate, and the entire crew of the Real Deal Property Sharks show, including Jersey Mike Mano and DBL Nicks, aka 2.0, aka Bubblegum Rapper, and this is another wonderful episode of Real Deal Property Sharks, where we go and visit the city of Boynton Beach. That's right, Boynton Beach, and we discuss its history as well as having a wonderful conversation with its current mayor, Steven B. Grant, who tells us about the exciting future of this fantastic community. So buckle up your seatbelts and get ready for the ride, peeps, because here we go. Boynton Beach is located in the southeast part of Florida in the beautiful county of Palm Beach. It's named after Civil War hero Major Nathan Boynton, who was actually the person who created the famous Boynton Hotel that was visited by many famous dignitaries as well as personalities. The actual community of Boynton Beach was first incorporated by the Dewey family. That would be Bird Spillman and her husband Fred S. Dewey, and that was in 1920. The town of Boynton initially encompassed four current communities. That would be Briny Breezes, Ocean Ridge, Manalapan, and the current city of Boynton Beach, which took its name in 1941. In 1926, the Seaboard Airline Railway stop was built in Boynton Beach, and this spurred on a lot of growth in the community, and ultimately the area of Boynton Beach became known as a major dairy farm until the 1970s, when it was no longer economically viable to continue in the dairy industry. Since then, the community of Boynton Beach has continued to grow and prosper, having numerous families flocking to the beautiful southeast community to enjoy its wonderful weather and cultural vibes. Both myself, yours truly, Coach Nick, and the one and only Deborah Face, your face for real estate, my wonderful co-host, had the pleasure of meeting with the current mayor of Boynton Beach, the one and only Mayor Steven B. Grant, and he shared wonderful information about fantastic things that are going on in his community, and we're going to share it with you, peeps, so get ready.
So Mayor Grant, tell us a little bit about your background.
For myself, I grew up outside of Washington, D.C. in Maryland, where I went to the University of Maryland for undergraduate with a finance degree. I got my first job out of school with Morgan Stanley as an investment advisor, helping people with their finances. But after being in a cubicle for over a year, I decided, I wanted a little bit more interaction, more activity. So I went to work for different law firms and then moved down to Jacksonville to go to law school. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I experienced Florida. And after living where it's warm and by the beach, I wanted to stay. And I had a friend in Boynton Beach. And so in 2011, I moved down here. After I moved down here, I thought that I saw what was going on with the city, and so I wanted to get more involved. I joined the city's financial advisory committee, where our goal was to reduce expenses and increase revenues. And after seeing the different elected leaders, I thought that I would be the best candidate, and so I ended up running for office and winning. So after being elected the youngest mayor in the city's history, I still practice attorney at my own law practice. And do what I can to make sure that transportation moves smoothly in the city. We are growing our economic development and building wealth in our community.
Looks like you're doing a great job. So Stephen, I've noticed there's so much development that's been done to this building in here in City Hall in Boynton Beach. Can you tell me a little bit about the library and the other projects that you have going on here?
Absolutely, Deborah. So this is the main focus of our Town Square project. This Town Square development has been going over 20 years in the city, and so we're glad that we are finally into fruition of having it built. The City Hall Library is a multi-purpose building where we wanted to make it not just a place for government activities, but also a central place for our downtown so that people can come here for extracurricular activities, different events and activities. And one of the things that we have in our downtown is the Civic Center.
Oh wow, tell me a little bit about that.
So it was built back in 1926 to house the higher education for the city, and the city's had it for over the past 20 years, but it was not used. And so we recently restored it to today's standards, and so I'm very pleased that we were able to put in hurricane impact windows in 189 window spaces. And so
it's a lot of windows.
It is a lot of windows.
Because you have to keep it historical, so you can't really alter the look of the outside too much, correct?
Correct. It has the original paint color from 1926, and one of the things that we're very proud about is the second floor auditorium that we have. And so one of the key things of making that our next Civic Center is we wanted to have it very functional. So we have a freight elevator to the stage so that we can hopefully get bands and acts, because you can fit almost 500 people inside.
Wow, that's fantastic. Stephen, as we were walking around the grounds, I noticed there's a children's museum. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, the building was built in 1912, and so that was the first school within the city limits of Boynton Beach. And it was given to the city, and so we decided that we wanted to keep that function of an education center within the city. And we had donors, and so it is a education piece, and we're focusing on the history of Boynton Beach and using more of a kinetic educational tools. So there's a lot of hands-on activities, but not necessarily a lot of screens and digital interfaces.
Well, yeah, I noticed you had that kinetic display out in the front. That was quite a sight.
Yeah, we're proud of our kinetic art fair, and so that's something that we're going to have this coming February.
Right, awesome. So for the people that don't know what kinetic art is, could you describe that to our viewers?
Absolutely. So kinetic art is art that moves or makes sounds. And so the way that I like to explain it is it's not only art that moves, but it's art that moves you.
So Stephen, I noticed there's a lot of renovation going on outside. Could you give us a little bit of history of what's going on with that?
Absolutely. So we had a Kids Kingdom, playground in our old downtown, and so we wanted to repurpose that for the 21st century. And so we created two different playgrounds because we didn't want the big kids running over the little kids.
Right.
And so our big kids playground has a different theme of from the ocean to the Everglades. And so we have different playground equipment that represents different aspects of the environment for kids to play on. And in addition, that smaller children's playground from 2 to 5 that represents more of the history of the city and talks about kind of what's Henry Flagler's train station. So we have a little train there, and then that will also lead to our amphitheater that is still under construction. So as I mentioned earlier, we want our municipal buildings to be part of the downtown, not just be used from 9 to 5. And so with that amphitheater, we are hoping to get great bands and acts to come here in different festivals and events. And one of the things that we can offer is that our City Hall has 4 floors. And so the 3rd and 4th floor can be reserved as more of a VIP lounge for certain individuals and groups.
That would be awesome. Tell me about this lounge.
Well, on our third and fourth floors, we had decided that we needed to have a patio because we have this great outdoor space of our amphitheater. But what's the point of having that great outdoor space if you can't look at it?
Right.
So we created these patios and concierge rooms so that if someone would like to rent them out or reserve them, they have that ability to do so in the future. And so in order to do that, I would suggest people to contact the City Hall at 561-742-6000.
So Mayor Grant, I hear you have a celebrity that lives here in Boynton Beach. This person was in that movie called Peanut Butter Falcon. Do you know anything about that?
Correct. Zach Gotteskin has been a resident of Boynton Beach for a while, and we're very excited for all of his fame that he's accomplished. And as part of it is that in Boynton Beach we want to be an inclusive society, and so we have a lot of nonprofits that help individuals with special needs, and one of them is the Gold Coast Down Syndrome Association.
And if you haven't seen it, come see it.
Here are the nominees for Best Live Action Short Film.
I hear you're doing great things with the environment. Can you give us a little bit of information on what's going on?
So part of our downtown, we wanted to reduce the energy. And so what we did is we created a chilled energy plant. And so we are, instead of each building having its own heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system, we have one central location to help with the efficiencies of the energy. And so instead of cooled air going throughout all the buildings, we have cooled water, which is easier to maintain its temperature at a lower degree. And so that's something that we're very proud about. We are also increasing the tree canopy within the city. And so that's why we're finding new ways to plant more trees to help reduce the heat island effect and help with stormwater runoff.
I noticed that you had some of those bushes for the, I think they're called the butterfly plants or butterfly bushes. Is that part of what you're doing also?
Absolutely. So we want to maintain the biodiversity within the city and not just plant one sort of palm or one sort of bush, right, so that we can create an environment for the different fauna that come here. And so we are doing what we can to maintain the habitat for endangered butterflies here in the city.
That's awesome. I think when the kids are outside playing in the playground and all the butterflies are around, that's going to be so much fun for them.
So, okay, gang, this is Coach Nick and my lovely co-host Deborah Face, your face for real estate, with the entire team of Real Deal Property Sharks. And that's the end of this wonderful episode about the history of Boynton Beach and our discussion with Mayor Steven B. Grant. Thank you so much, Mayor, and we'll see you soon, peeps. We love you, and we're out of here. Peace.